Twisted Time by Wolf 08. Chapter 2, Team 7 Reunited. Sakura woke to the warmth of the morning sun on her face. Her eyes fluttered open and revealed that she was in her room, curled up in her bed. Sunbeams were shining through the open window, and a soothing summer breeze sent a chill across her exposed skin. But all contented feelings were staunch when Sakura's eyes flickered in the direction of the night table. Her frayed picture of Team 7 was gone. Sakura realized with a panic. Then, a sudden surge of panic. She remembered this was not her bedroom anymore. Sakura sat out of bed and instantly noticed that her body was far lighter, far easier to lift, but also her arms didn't give her the leverage she expected them to. She sputtered, just as a long strand of hair flopped in front of her face. A long strand? That was when her mind was flooded with memories of recent events. The war, the scroll. Tsunami-sama! She yelled, springing to her feet, reaching for the knife she always kept under her pillow, only to find it wasn't there. The nearest scroll tumbled off her bed to the hardwood floor. The reality of it all began to sink in. Sakura dashed to the body-like mirror on the opposite side of the room, where her eyes laid on what was reflected in its surface. Her breath caught in her throat. Scrawny legs, flat chest, a face that hadn't quite grown into its huge green eyes and broad forehead, long, matted pink hair. This was unreal. She really was a younger version of herself. 5 or 6 years younger, at least. In a daze, she returned to the bed and picked the scroll off the floor. After a quick examination, she deduced it was indeed the time travel scroll. It worked. It actually worked. This wasn't a dream. She had been carried back in time to save Konoha. And that was when she remembered Tsunai's parting words. Sakura, the scroll must not get into the wrong hands. Certain individuals hold the power to undo the spell, likely at the expense of your life. Right, she needed to protect it. Sakura immediately dismissed the idea of keeping the scroll on her person and make her vulnerable. She needed a safe place to hide it. After a quick glance around the room, Sakura realized that she hardly had any safekeeping options. She made a mental note into purchasing something judo resistance. But in the meantime, she needed to think of a place no one would bother checking. Hastily, Sakura opened her underwear drawer and shoved the scroll inside. She made a hand seal, cast a substitution jutsu over the scroll, transforming it into a pair of red underwear. Now, unless he has some kind of preferred stalker, the scroll is safe. For now. Her relief was short-lived. Immediately after performing the jutsu, Sakura's breathing hissed. The knees of her skinny legs buckled slightly. That moment she realized her chakra reserve was much smaller than it had been. Well, what felt like moments ago. However slight, the psychological repercussions of chakra depletion were already present. Increased heart rate, tired limbs, cold extremities, and all thanks to a basic substitution jutsu she could have performed in her sleep in her previous life. You gotta be kidding me. What the hell did Tsunade honestly expect her to accomplish in a state like this? Sakura made a mental note to do some intense training as soon as possible. But, on a positive note, her prized skill in chakra control seemed to be intact. She just had less chakra control to work with. She glanced around her room, heart thumping restlessly. What next? Her mind was still hazy on the cups of full-blown hyperventilation. Focus, Sakura. What do you need to do now? Well, according to Sakura's ninja instincts, first and foremost, you need a line of defense. She started scanning the room for a supply of weapons. Instantly, she caught sight of a small weapon pouch on her desk. She wrested it open and snatched it open. A meager tin shuriken and a single kunai knife were inside. Sakura gritted her teeth. How on earth did I function with so few of these? Because you never really expected to get into this fight, and in spite of the fact that you had the second highest scores in the academy, well, in Naruto's class you had the highest scores. I Kind of like that Ino was the top scorer in her class. It's just that Ino wasn't in the class with Naruto, so but still like that. Shows that Sakura still had to work to manage to hold her own against Ino. Realistically, Sakura didn't have much use for her stockpile of weapons back when she was at the academy. Also, she wasn't usually fought. She had to purchase some, and medical supplies. It did occur to her she really was an academy kid again. She probably didn't have much money. Assuming she was a young teenager and hadn't started going out on missions, her only income was an allowance from her parents. Sakura made another mental note to get herself a part-time job, ideally at the hospital. So, what now? Well, for one thing, get rid of all this damn hair. Now, having bright pink hair certainly has its uses. As a medical ninja, it made her easily recognizable on the battlefront. And not to mention, it was hard for people to forget after her only a single meeting, which was particularly useful when she met new boys. But long pink hair? Might as well pay a target on her back. Maintaining this hair was time-consuming and practical. So, without further delay, Sakura grabbed a soul kunai from her weapon holster in one hand, gripped onto her hair with the other. She ran the blade across the strands, severing about 10 inches off the length. But she let her hair drop back into place, it fell just above her shoulders. That's fair. Sakura proceeded to sweep the hair from the ground, clean up the bathroom, and put on one of her old red train dresses. Damn, did that ever feel weird? She tossed away her old dresses ages ago. She quickly remembered why she slipped so asleep with style when she was older. The sleeves from this dress and its thick, heavy material were going to drive her insane. When Sakura was ready, she figured she would head downstairs and get a sense of what day it was. Then she would start planning. Setting incentives, as Tsunade put it. With Spike adrenaline, she grabbed her protector, wallet, weapon pouch from her desk, and went downstairs. As she neared the main floor, she heard a familiar voice from the kitchen call, Sakura, is that you? Sakura froze at the base of the stairs. It was her mother. Since she moved to her own apartment, she didn't see much of her parents, and what felt like moments ago, in Sakura's old life, her parents were locked in this very house, hiding from the war, destruction sleeping throughout the village. Sakura's mind was flooded with emotions. Her parents were safe, and they were right here. Her mother appeared around the corner and caught the bear of it. Sakura threw her arms around her. Mom! I'm so happy to see you, she cried, struggling to keep her composure. Sakura! Her mother exclaimed in response, green eyes narrowing. Your hair! Sakura let her arms fall and blinked in confusion. Oh, right. She just cut her hair for, as far as her mother knew, the first time in her life. Her mother, Mibiki, smirked, demure, sifting. Well, I suppose it's only fitting to have a brand new look for your first day as a ninja, she said, examining one of Sakura's newly chopped strands. Come on, let me tell something else while you have your breakfast. First day? Mibiki rolled her eyes and saw Sakura a knowing smile. Don't play that with me. You've been talking about it for weeks. Sakura oogled at her mother before stammering out, Yes, of course! My first day. She entered the kitchen and let the words slip in. If what her mother said was true, today Sakura would be assigned to her team. Team 7. That's right. They were here. Her boys were here. Naruto, still young, brimming with positive energy, oblivious to the many years of violence and war that would befall him. Kakashi, protective, collective, totally unaware of the evil that would infiltrate the relationships of his soon-to-be disciples. And Sasuke. Sasuke, here, in the village. Lost, confused, moody, sure, but untainted. Genuinely good. And above all, not an enemy for the Hidden Leaf Village. There was so much to grasp, but soon my new feelings of anxiousness and curiosity. Sakura wolfed down her food, thanked her mother for breakfast and grabbed her things, and bolted out the door. was quite surreal to walk through the lively, crowded roads of Konoha, when that felt like only hours before. These very streets were silent and abandoned. Sakura passed shops with doors left ajar, and parents scrambling after children who were daunting to the throng of passersby. She neared the Yamanaka flower shop, saw a much younger version of Ino, her best friend and rival, walking out the front door. Her blue eyes landed on Sakura immediately. "Sakura!" she called, followed by, "Sakura, what have you done?" Ino approached in what appeared to be a total state of shock, giving at Sakura's head. "You cut it?" Sakura blinked. "Oops." She didn't think that stupid haircut would matter this much. Yes. I figured I'd try out a brand new look for my first day as a ninja," she said, studying her mother's words and trying to force some confidence into her tone. Eyed her suspiciously. "Trying to get him to notice you, huh?" she asked bitterly. "Well, it isn't going to work. Everyone knows that Sasuke prefers girls with long hair." She tossed her long, blonde ponytail back, with a flick of her wrist for emphasis, a triumphant grin on her face. You know, you gotta ask what started that whole entire rumor. Maybe Sasuke just said that just to see who would pay attention. I now got this image in my head of Sasuke personally starting this rumor that he loves girls with long hair as a way to test who would actually try to get long hair just to notice him, so that way he could push away the undesirables. Sakura continued to chuckle. She'd forgotten how petty she and Ino had once been. "We'll just have to see," Sakura tried with a slight smirk, figuring there wasn't any harm in playing along. She went with Ino to the academy. Ino seemed a little thrown off by Sakura's lack of outlandedness and competitiveness, did most of the talking, filling her in about the hair products and cute boys that she may not be aware of. Sakura nodded and offered words of encouragement at all the right times. As they neared the school, Sakura was struck by a powerful realization. Felt like a game, this chit-chat with Ino, this fake young teenage girl persona. But this was her life now. She was trapped in this body, surrounded by these people, and there was no going back, and no one to ask for guidance or help. For all she knew, Tsunade was currently drunk in a small-town casino, gambling away all her money. In fact, Sakura was 99% sure that was exactly what Tsunade was doing. When he arrived at the academy, Sakura told Ino she needed to stop somewhere before going to class. "Are you okay, Sakura?" Ino asked, folding her arms across her chest. "You aren't as talkative as you usually are. Are you sick?" Damn, Sakura thought. She certainly did a good job maintaining her facade. I'm just a little nervous. Big day ahead, that's right." She feigned a smile. Ino cast her a disbelieving glance. "You realize I get first dibs on the seat next to Sasuke, right?" She asked. So this big piece of information would prompt Sakura to change her mind. "I guess you do," Sakura said, unsure what else to say. Ino shrugged and bounded out to the classroom. Sakura started wandering the academy halls. She desperately needed to be alone, and she needed to think. So far today, she played along with the events as they unfolded. Shouldn't she be providing something better with her time, something productive? She had a powerful insight that she thought to take advantage of. Saving the village for future destruction needed careful and long-winded preparation. Sure, she set some clear intentions for herself to bear. But where was she supposed to begin? Did it make sense to join T7 and later bring her T? But how was she ever get to the do as she asked? How was she, a homegrown genin of Konoha, managed to convince anyone in the village that she knew anything about the world outside of it? Bump! Caught off guard, Sakura jumped back and reached into her weapon holster for her kunai, only realized he had wanted to none other than Kakashi. "Kakashi Sensei!" she exclaimed, immediately returning the knife back into its pouch, strapped to her leg. She faced a familiar scrutinizing look, Kakashi's visible eyebrows shooting upwards towards his head protector. A frown surely formed somewhere beneath his mask. Gosh, he hasn't aced a bit. Hikasi folded his arms. Gazing at the past, he was returning to kunai, too. You know of me, huh? He asked slowly. Whoops! She forgot how he was technically not her teacher yet. Her mentor and teacher for the past 5 years, one of Sakura's primary confidants, and the man who shaped her ninja. Didn't even know her. Her chest tightened. I heard great things about you, Sensei, she said with a small bow. You're one of the most highly respected jonin around here. She offered a smile and prayed to the gods he would believe her. I see, he said, raising an eyebrow. What's your name? Haruno. Sakura Haruno, she said. Hikasi nodded, carefully studying her face. Shouldn't you be with the other gang? He asked. Today you'll be assigned a team. Yes, I suppose I should be, she mumbled. I guess I'll be going then. She then turned on her heels, stalked off towards the classroom. She walked away. Hikasi Hatake was a retreating figure. Swear that a gang named Sakura Haruno would be assigned to his team, but he hardly knew a thing about her. He'd been too preoccupied learning his other new disciples. The prestigious Sasuke Uchiha and the troublemaking Naruto Uzumaki. As far as he knew, Sakura was nothing but a studious, straight-A student with minimal real-world ninja experience. But that was really the case. Why was her immediate reflex to draw a weapon when she bumped into him? Maybe there was more to this girl than he thought. And maybe it was just a bundle of nerves today. Either way, he decided to keep a close eye on her. In a daze, Sakura threw open the classroom door and walked in. The door was packed with students, and Ruka standing at the front, assembling his papers and preparing for his introductory speech. The young Ginny was starting to hop down from the desk and take their seats for the lecture. Sakura scanned the room for an empty spot so she could sneak in unnoticed. Sakura-chan! A familiar voice rang out. Oh no, stay to your seat! Leave it to Naruto to blow my cover. Sakura spotted the grinning blonde boy at the far end of the room, begging her to join him, as he was the only thing in the world that mattered. She couldn't help her mood lifting at the sight. The boy she had come to see as her brother and dear friend was there. He was safe. He was happy. She approached him at the desk. She felt like he was floating through a dream. The ear-to-ear smile was impossible to suppress. Seeing Naruto, the hyperactive boy jumping up and down in a bright orange jumpsuit, was the greatest thing that had happened to her since she woke up. In fact, the small moment of pleasure was enough to distract her from her time-traveling predicament. That was when she heard a loud gasp. Sakura-chan! Naruto exclaimed, Where's your hair? The entire room was silent. All heads turned in direction. Then the classroom was filled with murmuring. Why did she do that? She looks terrible. Yeah, trying to look tough, huh? Maybe her hair fell out. Maybe she's balding! Sakura clenched her chest, jaw, such a seat next to Naruto. You're really tuning out all the chatter. For the love of God, how superficial these people are! Is this really what the ninjas of Konoha cared about at this age? A silly haircut? Once she had taken her seat, the classroom's volume resumed normal levels. Naruto was sitting at her right. There was a young, people-looking Hinata with a dark bob cut sitting behind her. She started scanning her surroundings, taking in the faces of her friends. It was quite a lot to process. They were also much smaller and relaxed. The carefree air wafting through the room was so refreshing, yet so unnatural. None of these kids really knew of the dangers that lurked beyond Konoha's borders. Where's your hair? Naruto repeated. She barely heard him because something else caught her attention. Her eyes were locked on the back of the boy directly in front of her. He was here, wearing a signature blue shirt with a family crest on the back. No sword protruding from his waistline. No curse mark on his neck. No scratch through the leaf symbol on his forehead protector, designating him a rogue ninja and a traitor. Sasuke. Hey! Billboard Brow! Screeched a familiar, noxious voice. Sakura jumped. Ino, who was sitting next to Sasuke, Taking notice to the direction of Sakura's fixated gaze. Take your eyes off my man, would you? Everybody, all together now. But Sai isn't here! I'm sure he doesn't want you drooling all over his back. Sakura blinked several times and tried to reorient herself. She turned to notice Naruto's crestfallen expression. Ino's triumphant grin. The others in the surrounding seats had turned towards the scene and sounded Ino's voice. Sakura felt defensive. I was looking at the blackboard, Ino pig! She said, trying out the old nicknames he assigned her rival. If you pay attention to something besides a certain classmate of ours every now and again, maybe you clue in that Iruka-sensei is trying to begin the lecture. Ino and Naruto's jaw dropped. Before either of them had a chance to speak, Sakura added in a quieter tone, And Naruto, I'm sorry for taking so long to answer your question. I cut my hair because long hair just gets in the way. Naruto squinted at her in confusion, probably puzzling over exactly what long hair got in the way of. Ino was visibly fuming. And to Sakura's surprise, Sasuke turned around to look at her over. He didn't seem particularly pleased by anything Sakura had said, with how dark his eyes were narrow. His mouth was pulling a frown. Of all the weird things to happen that day, this was by far the weirdest. God, the last time she stared into these very eyes, they were stained red, filled with real malice and bloodthirst, and utterly emotionless. Needless to say, a glare from this Sasuke was nothing she couldn't handle. Sakura had no trouble holding her ground, returning the cold-hearted sneer, which she felt communicated something along the lines, Turn around and pay attention. To Sakura's relief, Iruka cleared his throat and addressed the class moments later. Sasuke, Naruto, and Ino, and the others turned back around to face the front of the class. Damn it, she thought. Saw her that simple act of cutting her hair changed the past, the present, or whatever this was. As a result, the future could change too. She needed to be very selective about her words and actions, because each one could have a rippling effects on the rest of her new life. How would she live like this? How would she ever make decisions if she was conscious of the impacts of every word she said in her existence? Sakura realized he had seen it zoned out from Iruka's introductory speech, and only tuned back in when he was announcing the teams. He soon reached Team 7. Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno. Yes! Naruto cheered. And Sasuke Uchiha. No! Naruto cried. Team 7 was officially formed for the second time.